What up, everybody? It's your favorite team, Nerds It Around. We are back. I'm your host, Sebastian.
It's your boy, it's Tone from across the hall.
Yeah, we're off today. And subbing for Law today is Law number 2, aka
No, I'm not Law number 2. I'm not taking that. I am the substitute teacher for tonight with my awesome Grissom sweater, which I feel like I should represent right now. This is my most safe for work shirt, and for those who know me, they've seen the other ones. So,
well,
nice.
Law has the night off today. Law is just hanging out. He's being with family and all that. Again, it's the holidays. So, Law, we love you, brother. Happy holidays, brother.
Love you, Law,
and you know, Alex is subbing for you, so you can pick on him if he's messing up. So, before we get into the episode, because
just to make you feel better.
So before we get into today's episode, just a couple announcements like we like to do, let you know what's going on through the week. So Nerds Around will not be dropping episodes the next episode we drop on a Friday will be January 8th. That will feature Amy Davis, voice actress, cosplayer, all around Twitch streamer. So January 8th we will return to showing our shows on the 8th. Madusa's Cascade will continue to resume on Saturday, so continue to listen to the D&D podcast. So again, every Saturday, Madusa's Cascade D&D podcast. Check it out. I did an awesome intro. Tone did an awesome intro. Everybody's doing some awesome intros for the show.
I actually listened to that one, so
oh yeah,
I'm several episodes behind.
Also, too, guys, make sure you're following Comics Cast. They drop their show every Sundays. Right now, I know they're on a break, but make sure you guys follow them. Check them out. They did some awesome interviews. They got to interview Alex, who's probably on below for me.
It is literally their best episode.
The one with you. It was fun. It was fun. You guys did some awesome sketches on there.
Yeah.
Finally, follow Pure Mayhem Gaming, Mayhem Mike, who is going to be on tonight. He has his Twitch channel up, Steady Hands and TAOS by Law. So, without further ado, before we get into it, let's bring up on our guest. So, you already know him from this whole season coming in with the Mandalorian. We want to give it up for rapper extraordinaire who dropped the album The Agenda. Give it up for Stone Cold Glass Breaks, LuCyph.
Yeah, what's going on, guys? How you doing?
What's going on, Lou? How you doing?
Thank you for having me back again.
Of course. It's season finale. Got to have you on.
It's been a minute since we've seen you.
Yeah. Exactly.
Next on the list, again, we mentioned him, Q Mayhem Gaming. He's out there throwing his games. Last stop on the L train. You can also catch him on Sundays on This Week in Pop Culture. Give it up for Mayhem Mike.
I'm sorry, is it my turn?
No, it's not your turn. Go ahead.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Canarsie?
Yes, Canarsie.
Right.
Canarsie.
I spent a lot of time out that way, so
see, you're authentic, unlike Toad's beard. But anyway, let's go.
Wow.
Next on the list, we've been throwing them out there, giving them the shout outs. He is one half of the awesome team of Comic Cast on InLed. They basically let it out, the show, which again, you got to see Alex on. He does some amazing art. Dope person all around. Give it up. But not the last person to be introduced. The least person. He is dope. Awesome. Again, I don't know how many things I could put in there. Give it up for Jerel.
Comics guy.
What's going on, bro? How you doing?
Yo.
Hey, welcome. I mean, thank you for having me on here. I just, man, I'm loving your show.
I mean, you are a part of the show. You're always commenting, really appreciating it, and we're just, really excited to get you on here and talk Star Wars with us.
Mic like really clear, sir.
Who?
Can I have the equipment you have?
Me?
Oh,
talk about me?
No, not you. Oh, everybody cares about you.
It's okay, Tone. We still love you.
I don't know, man. My mustache is inauthentic. My mic apparently doesn't sound that good. I don't know. We'll see how it goes.
So before we get into this awesome season 2 finale, Tone, please give us the disclaimer.
Yes. As with all of our episodes, we are a spoiler-filled session. So there will be spoilers, aka Tony Stark has died. So let us get to it. To season 2 of The Mandalorian, episode 16, The Rescue.
So yeah, we got into the rescue.
So tell me like Rosebud is the fucking sled or some shit.
Yeah, man.
Rosebud. But no, this was an awesome episode. I think a lot of fans love this episode. We have a lot to talk about. But first, I want to get everyone's reaction without spoiling anything. What was your reaction? I want to go around the table. We'll start with law number 2, aka Alex. Let's go.
All I gotta say was holy shit. I'm sitting there watching, like, no, they're not gonna do that. They're not doing they might be. They are. They are. All right, cool.
What's up, Joe?
What's up, Joe?
Hey, Joe.
What's going on, Joe?
Yeah.
Jerel, what was your overall experience when you saw this? What was it? What was the emotions and everything going through? What was it?
Oh, well, we all talked about it the week before, and everybody's like speculating. I was like saying Ezra's going to come back. I was going to say Sabine's going to be back, and I said that Boba Fett is going to die. I was wrong. It's like
you just named 3 of their new cash cows that nobody even knows about.
Yeah, I think everybody. I wasn't even expecting that end sequence, the end scene. They're like. I guess they're bringing back the whole Marvel. Like, I gotta watch the credits until the very end. MCU.
Yes!
I wasn't even expecting that. I just was because to me, I was just enjoying the music. I was looking for who the lead graphic designer was and the best girl key grip. I don't know. They're just, just looking for like this odd, really crazy credits. And then they showed extra stuff. But I gotta tell you, that last scene where was it Cara Dune goes, "Oh, look, it's an X-wing," and everybody was like, "Oh no!" It was the X-wing, and then it was like green lightsaber, and
the moment you see the green lightsaber,
you knew. We all know, and Joe knew who it was too. You know, Joe.
That black glove, you knew exactly what that.
Exactly. It's like
no glove.
We've been waiting for this since 1983. I think Return of the Jedi. Everybody was like, "When are we gonna see true Jedi Master Luke Skywalker totally own it?" And how many years in the making was this? We were waiting.
There was there was this point where I'm like, okay, it's a black and white image, like one lightsaber, like maybe it's Ahsoka, but then when they saw it was green, I'm like, if it's not Luke, if it's either that fucking dude from Fallen Order or it's Ayla Secura's fucking Padawan, whatever her name is. I'm like, there's 3 Jedi that possibly could have been, and it has to be Luke.
Yeah.
Mike, what was your experience when you saw this coming out there, bro? What was it?
So I saw the episode late. So it makes sense. Yeah, I saw the episode late. When I say late, like it comes out Friday, I saw it Saturday night. That's late, So it makes sense why the saga that's coming afterwards, without revealing anything, what everybody was talking about. I was like, what's going on? So then I saw it, and ironically, I was hyped for two scenes. The bar scene.
Mm-hmm.
Reverse DDT,
which we're gonna touch up on that one.
I'm not a wrestling fan, but that was dope, and I still feel like that person can beat Boba. We're gonna go into that.
We're gonna go into that.
When she used the jetpack, that was like,
everything I was hyped about was the hallway scene where Luke was kind of letting off some steam, and I was like, is he still battling the darkness? Because the way he kind of
what he was wearing, so
Come on. I mean,
got a little bit of shadow in him.
This is a dope episode. This is what happens when you listen to the fans and you know your stuff. This is when you listen to the fans, you know your stuff, you know how to give us the proper dues. Because you know what? I know they would retcon some stuff, but I'm excited to see where they go from here.
I mean,
so
I'm going to take it.
I agree, Joe. The artwork is awesome that they show at the end of the shows.
Yeah, I was really disappointed it wasn't at the end of this last episode. I really was looking forward to seeing the artwork and seeing all the concept stuff.
Yeah.
Hey, would you trade that versus the book? Because
true,
I will trade off that artwork because they're going to get you to buy the art book later on. Because I pre-ordered that. I went ahead and ordered that art book. That's for season 1. I know season 2. It's a milk cashing machine. We're gonna buy everything. So anyway.
But let's get into this episode. So we open up with this episode with the dog fight that's happening in the beginning. The pilot with no death wish. Yeah, right. Who kills his co-pilot. And then we got Dr. Pershing, and then he provokes Cara Dune, which ends in the scene. So what did you guys feel about this opening with the show? I mean, let's start.
Those guys were the red shirts.
Yeah. My favorite saying, the red shirts. No, they definitely were. I love that they brought back and I think I mentioned it last week, the idea of a bunch of millions and millions of people just dying on the Death Star, and the fact that we talked about it last week, and then it was just like brought up by this dude here. You know, and I like the little things that we learned about folks who survived from Alderaan. Like, I never really thought about her using like the tear. I guess that's a thing that you know, survivors use, and that's a really cool wrinkle that they've added in. I don't know if they're going to add that later on that we may notice.
What was interesting to me is this season we've definitely been seeing what the whole Star Wars saga has been from the Empire's point of view.
Right.
And like this dude is like, he's a believer. He's like if you meet one of those guys and you know who I'm talking about, you know, they're like on the wrong side of history, and it's like, yeah, oh, you really believe this bullshit. And it's like it's funny, like as fans, we've always known the Stormtroopers are the bad guys. Darth Vader, he's a great bad guy, but he's still the bad guy. But it's like this is the one time we've actually seen it from the bad guy's point of view and where the justification is. And it was interesting to me. I mean, at the same time, I was happy he got shot in the face, but it is interesting to be like to see how they view the rebellion.
Yeah, I would say propaganda is a hell of a drug.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When it started, they had the most realistic. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go for it.
No, go. Mike, you go.
When it started, it had the most realistic expression and choice. Like, here it is, you have a bounty hunter with his crew on the ship, and you're just like, I'm gonna stand up against you? Nah, just take whatever you want. Like, you're severely outclassed. And to kind of like expand on what Alex said, we are seeing what it's like to be on the other side of the fence. Yes, there are fanatics who are like crazy in their mind. But there are other people who don't necessarily believe in the cause or who's having second thoughts, which I feel like they kind of touched upon in Rogue One and to an extent. You know what I'm saying? But like now it's like, holy crap, because we went from TIE fighters are bad guys, but then like 2 episodes before with Bill Burrows, they were like, yeah, the TIE fighters saved the Mandalorian. Yeah, we're rooting for them. What an odd place to be. Yeah. What an odd fence to climb. You know what I'm saying? So in the beginning, I was just like, I hope they don't kill him. And then it's like, all right, well, I guess that's what it was.
It reminds me of that George Carlin thing, you know, like what if, you know, firefighters fight fires, what if freedom fighters fight, you know? It's like one man's.
Oh, sound, yeah.
Well, how did you feel about that scene, Jerel?
Well, you know, just to follow up on, I guess Alex is just leading the way there. So I just wanted to say,
I have very strong opinions when it comes
we watched the original trilogy, and the original trilogy, you never saw stormtroopers take off their masks. You know, you never saw them take off their helmets. And I think that with the Clone Wars and all the other stuff, you know, you got to see who the clones were. They gave personalities to them. And then now we're seeing, you know, Imperial PTSD. You know, you're seeing that whole thing. And I think what it's doing, it's not necessarily telling you like, oh, you got to like root for the Empire, but you're saying that it's basically showing that, you know, there are 2 sides to every story. And, you know, I think that's the thing is that now I think it was a full circle moment because now, you know, you heard all that controversy about Pedro, like totally like saying he's going to quit the Mandalorian because they wouldn't let him take off his mask. And I thought that had to be the biggest, like,
he's spoken about that. He's like, that's bullshit.
Yeah, exactly. Because you saw the evolution of the episodes where they didn't just make him take off his mask. It was a slow
burn.
Yeah. And finally, and it made complete sense. And it actually, you know, you never saw stormtroopers take off their helmets. You never saw, and then the Mandalorian, you know, he's basically confronted with Bo-Katan, and he's like, you know, why are you guys taking off your mask? And you know, it's like that's not a part of the club. You guys, it's like you guys got all beards and stuff like that. And
not coming off.
I'm the Mandalorian in this picture, you know. So it goes to show is that, you know, that the whole thing about it's humanizing the enemy to a certain extent. You're not gonna like root for the Empire, at least I'm not. But at least you get to see the other side. So I think that's really great. It's really great.
Mr. Gatto, oh, that's a dope rumor.
What's up?
I would believe that. That would actually be really good because it's like they kept focusing on her. But now let's get into Mando recruits Bo-Katan and Casca Reeves. I just also had the question: where is Axe Woves? Tension between them and Boba, and then we get the fight scene between Casca and Boba in the bar. How did you guys feel about that scene? What's your thoughts? We're gonna start with you, Jerel. Let's go with that.
Okay, Filoni and Favreau, they know how to show female empowerment. That's all I'm gonna say. Because you know, I think that the whole Endgame Infinity. I think that was what scene I'm talking about. I felt it was epic, but it felt a little forced. And I'm all about like female representation in all of our nerd movies. I think that's a part of it. I love that's the whole thing about Princess Leia. She was always that she was the trailblazer in sci-fi movies. Being a female character who's strong and doesn't take crap from anybody. Now, what I liked about this scene, about this whole episode, about the Mandalorians, them being female, and of course, I guess I'm going to fast forward just a little bit. When they get back on that ship, you don't even realize that assault team, they're all female. Mm-hmm. Mando comes in last, and you don't even care about that. It doesn't matter. It's because they're just badass warriors. That's all you got to know. And I felt that was the way that you do it, because it's good storytelling. And, it just so happens that they happen to be female. It could have been all male. It would still be a great story. And I love that. I love how they did representation in this episode.
So would you say that it was the way?
It was the way.
It was definitely the way.
Tone, what was your, I mean, again, we were talking about this, over the weekend.
I was super excited for it. I mean, especially like, I love the contempt between Bo-Katan and Boba, and how he was just not taking any of the smoke, any of the shit. He was like, I don't care if I'm not a Mandalorian. This is my father's armor, and this is the armor I got before. I don't care. I'm due to Din. Like, that's the reason why I'm here. I'm only here because I owe him and to get the child.
Yeah,
you can say whatever the hell you want.
Wish them best of luck.
Huh?
Yeah. At the same time, he's like, "Yo, good luck."
Yeah.
Well, why don't you just go like and then show his creds? Like, that whole thing that's imprinted in his armor. It's like, Bo-Katan, look at that.
Yeah.
That's it.
And I think and it was something too, like, we don't really ever talk. I mean, maybe in the expanded universe they did, talking about like that whole clone thing that Boba has to deal with, where he kind of just grew up and he knows he's a clone, and having that just thrown in his face
consistently,
just being like, you're a clone. I've heard that voice. You're a clone. Like, you're just you're not us.
Yeah. To my knowledge, that's the first time that's come up in like I've read the expanded universe. Like, it's never like, there's a couple of people mentioned that there's like, similarities, but no one's kind of given Boba Fett shit on that.
I think Bo-Katan was the first that we heard say that.
Yeah, and then you get to the fight scene, and like we got a WWE match. You might as well just taken out the steel chair and slapped him in the face. Like, but yeah, no, to Mayhem's point, that DDT with a little sprinkle with the jetpack to give it some extra oomph, and then she throws him into the table.
Am I the only one hoping that she's in the sequel, because it doesn't look good for her, but she impressed me. Yeah.
Yep. There you go, Joe. Yeah, you originally wasn't, but I guess whatever happened that prequel. But
I mean, like the Clone Wars was a completely different conflict before the Clone Wars cartoon came about. So
yeah,
that's another thing.
Mike, I know you've been waiting to talk about this fight scene.
Listen, man, come on,
jump in there. So we're gonna tag you in. Ready, WWE style. Tag WWE style.
Everybody has said valid points, so I'm not gonna go over all those points again, because honestly, like, it's a great representation episode and it's a great representation shot. But like my man Tone said, when that DDT came out, I felt like the crowd went silent, and then there was a roar, and then the music started playing. There was broken glass. Like, here's the thing about wrestlers: when they cross over into acting, you always wonder how good their acting is on screen versus in a ring, per se. Even though they're still on screen, it's a personalities wrestling, we know, whatever. She owned it. She was Koska for sure. There was no doubt in my mind that was her. And if they ever bring her back, it's going to be her forever. That DDT shot, for sure, looked like they did it one time. That was it. It was just one and done. They were like, all right, well, next scene. You know what I'm saying? And then throughout the whole the series, the whole episode.
It's film. You can say that.
It was like a film, but like throughout the whole episode, it was just them. And you realize how effective and crazy they were. Because I know we've talked about Koska, but Fennec is the one you watch out for. Fennec is like, where did that person go? And it's just like, and I'm just like, I'm dead. You know what I'm saying?
We're gonna get into Fennec, but before we take a question, that I do see we have a question in the chat. Lou, I want to know how you felt about this bar scene, the bar fight scene between Casca Reeves and Boba Fett.
Oh yeah. Well, it was dope to see, like a young warrior get at him. And he had like aged a little bit, and you didn't realize that homegirl was like, nah, I'm gonna pull you in, and we're gonna go at it. And it was dope to see that. And I think this entire episode had a huge amount of girl power that we all needed to see. Like that. I think as Star Wars people who understand, like, the representation is necessary. And this was like, I know girls must have been like, let's go. And so, seeing that excitement, I got excited too when she really ringed him in and was just like, no, come on. You know how we operate. So it was cool. So
I feel like she could beat him. I feel like she could.
Oh yeah.
Probably good. But we got a question from Joe over at Comics Cast, your buddy over there, Joe. We love you, Joe. So do you guys think that they will use the world between worlds to fix the Star Wars world? Okay, last thing. No, Joe, you can keep on, bro. But do you think that they're going to use the world between worlds to fix this all up, to fix whatever like gaps that I guess that what he means right there, what's going on between the stories?
Oh, yeah. I don't know. I think that the new plot fix for everything now is alternate reality, like all the Spider-Verse, I think, set that thing up. I don't know if they would ever go that far to say, like, you know what? It's like the J.J. Abrams, Rian Johnson stuff. That's like another universe. I don't know if that would. I think that would like, make some fanboys pretty happy. But you know what? I think what makes Favreau, Filoni, and I guess Lucas, what makes it so good for them is that it's a challenge, but they're making it work. They're fixing. It's like they're fixing things, and they're doing it right. I mean, I guess you guys have seen that meme where JJ
he's just a double dab. No, I mean the
I hate to butt in.
Joe keeps it real. I get wordy with stuff, but I'm just saying that it would be. It's funny when JJ says you can't please all the fans. You can't do that, and then it's like
I was like, hold my beer.
I mean, I gotta say, like,
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I really want to. Sorry, man. This is something I'm passionate about, man. One of the worst things to happen to Star Wars was George Lucas, and you know what? JJ needs to take a fucking seat. Fuck the Star Wars, Star Trek, and he's not doing good for Star Trek. I mean, you know what I mean? Yeah.
I know.
Shots fired.
I got shots fired. One of the best things that ever came out of it.
Phaser said the kill.
Expanded universe is they corrected all of George Lucas's mistakes. And Dave Filoni, I can tell he had one arm tied behind his back with George Lucas. Now that he's got free reign and he's got what's his name? Chef. Shit, I'm drawing like John Favreau. No, sorry. This is something I'm very passionate about because, like, I love Star Wars, and for me, like, the comics and the novels, they corrected all of the mistakes.
Yes.
Like fucking George Lucas would come out with like Star Killer, and he'd call him Darth Icky. What kind of bullshit is that? And then like all the novels, they're like, yeah, well, what really happened was this. And I'm like, okay, now they're making it a better story. And like right now, Jon Favreau is like, you know what? Hold my beer. I'm gonna correct everybody's mistake.
Yeah, I agree. He's not the best, but he's good with his own properties. He really is.
And I think what's great about it too is like we're doing this episodically, and we're just getting all these different like their shows. We're not being bogged down to 2 hour, 30-minute, 3 movies that are coming out every other year.
Yeah.
So you got to they're keeping everything contained in whatever story they're trying to tell, where we've got 12 hours of a story, 16 hours of a story that we've all just been in on ever since we saw Baby Yoda in the cradle after episode 1.
So we could be stuck on this point going, but let's move further into the episode. So the Doctor reveals the dark troopers to them, the plan, basically the fake chase. Bo-Katan again mentions Moff Gideon, and that she needs him to surrender to her, which I feel was again foreshadowing into this episode.
Yeah,
and then we get the landing, and then we get that woman empowerment, aka I like to dub it Mando's Angels, just kicking all stormtroopers' ass. How did you guys feel? I'm gonna give the coin toss. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4. Luke, you came back.
Can I first just can we just talk about the genius of the fake chase? And,
Oh, yes.
And Bo-Katan,
Yeah.
like QBing, like she's just like, yeah, okay, everybody's gonna hit this, you hit that, I'm going here, and then Mando's just like, I go alone. It's just like, all right, dude, you're gonna do it, but I got a plan set up. You get there when you get there. I got it. That was amazing. I thought that was a dope setup. Yeah, that was a dope setup. But I thought it was genius how everybody got confused. You know, like in any playmaker, cause the confusion, then you know what I mean, then run the route. You know, and it was great. It was great. I thought it was awesome.
Did a bump and go.
Yeah. Yep, flat out. They didn't know what to do. They didn't know what to do.
It was real like, fuck it, we'll do it live. That's what
we'll do it live.
She was like, whenever you show up, all right? Just make sure you don't fuck anything up.
Like, how did you feel about this whole scene?
Right?
What's up?
How did you feel about this, Mike? I want to get your opinion on this, everything that was going on, and the Mando's Angels. Let's go. I know you got it.
So let me just tell you that I agree with Lou said. First QB out here, you know, the Predator arm, like, you're going to set this bomb off, right? Like, fuck it, we'll just do it live kind of deal. I agree 100%. What I loved about it was how immediately you saw the dread on Moff Gideon's face. Like, oh, shit, it's time. Like, it's a slight thing to miss. But he's just like, oh shit, it's time. I love the fake scene. The graphics were awesome. I love how Boba was just like, all right, I did my job. Like,
what's funny is like they did that as like an easy out, so Boba doesn't have to deal with Luke, because that would have been like, not what? This motherfucker put me in the Sarlacc pit. I'm not here with this. We got
seen that scene. Oh, this motherfucker!
No, but can we address the fact that I thought a woman calling for distress would automatically make Moff Gideon be like, no, seal shit up. But he sent out TIE fighters, even though, you know, because for me, I'm not as deep in Star Wars, but I know that anybody driving a ship for the Stormtrooper or for the Imperial Force, they're not women. So why was that not something that he picked up on and said, oh, no, shut shit down. Break that shit.
No. This is the new Star Wars.
Please.
This guy.
Okay, go ahead, Mike. Go ahead, Mike.
Because the Star Wars franchise, although they're inclusive of women, what famous line have you got from a woman? There's only one. And you guys only know that, right? You guys know. Yeah, exactly. So that's it. So they kind of want to sneak that in, like, oh, we've been kind of like, you know, ignoring women in the importance of their role. We don't want you to know. That's as cinema-wise, because I'm sure Alex can agree. I've read the books too. They're very important in the novels. Okay. I don't know if they retconned all the novels, but I've read the novels and they were very important in the novels. Like, damn, you could talk to Luke like that? I didn't know that was a thing. You know what I'm saying? Kind of deal. Like, they were very important. So
even in some of the games too.
Supposedly didn't realize. Okay.
I just want to give a shout out to Winter. If you know anyone who's read the books knows who she is. So,
Jerel, what is your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I'm gonna follow up on what Tone said. I totally did not even connect Boba and Luke if they were on the same deck. Oh my god, that would be kind of like that would be. I totally was like, yeah, that makes complete sense. They're gonna save that for another. They're gonna save that for Book of Boba, because you know what? Coruscant isn't the center of the universe. Tatooine is. Everything is going down on Tatooine. But and in terms of the female empowerment in like the expanded universe or the stories that were there, I got 2 words for that. Mara Jade. Anybody know who that is?
Oh yeah.
So I don't know if they're gonna do that. I'd be like totally like freaked out if they decide to bring Mara Jade into like the next season. But what I love about what you're saying is that the whole thing about Boba and Mando still being kind of like lone wolves, you know, kind of, and but you know, it's like every time that Bo-Katan would say, you know, make it look good, and he goes, don't worry about it. And it was like,
right.
He knows what he's doing. He can make it look, you know, when he's pursuing them, he knows how to like pull his shots and stuff like that. But yeah, I was right, all up.
I feel like I need to chime in with Joe. The Imperials have always been stupid ass British white guys. It's only in the sequel trilogies that they have American accents.
But we could turn to the appearance
I mean, that's like such a big deal that Thrawn, rises the ranks and becomes the badass that he is.
He's an alien too.
Yes, he's not.
He's the only Imperial alien with like status.
Yeah.
Well, let's touch up on this because again, Mike brought it up earlier how we found out how badass also too Fennec is. Again, we know in one episode she was no scoping people like in Call of Duty. In this episode, she was using just a pistol whipping people.
She was on kill streaks.
Yes, she was on kill streaks, just kicking shit. I mean, every female in this group, like I said, the Mando Vengers, the Mando Angels, they were kicking ass from Bo-Katan to Casca to even what was it again? Everybody, they just it was kicking, and then they took over the bridge. I mean, how do we all feel about this?
I mean, so like the one thing, so what I talked about last week, because we had talked about who was like the better sharpshooter last week, Cara Dune or
Fennec?
And Fennec. And I said Fennec because she's a sniper. But we got to see Cara Dune be a fucking assault trooper with the heavy machine gun, just like going at it. And I was like, that's what I want to see. I don't need her sniping. That's not her role. Fennec can be in the back, shooting, taking the snipes. I wanted to see Cara Dune on the front lines, just mowing down fucking stormtroopers, and we got to see that because that's exactly what she was doing.
Well, they teased that because it was funny because like her gun jam, she's like my gun jam. Then when she came out the elevator, she's like,
and then the other shit too was with the two Mandalorians when they got surrounded, they did the bop and weave out into space, and then came in and did the pincer and just took out all those stormtroopers. I was like, that's dope.
So I want to say something real quick. Joe, have faith in Koska. Have faith. I understand you're not a fan of her acting just yet, but have faith because I'm telling you that bar scene, that was a one take. If it was two takes, I'd be surprised. But we're just talking about taking over the bridge and everything. If you notice the women go through the stormtroopers, that pincer move was dope. And it also shows how tactical they are. Like, we rarely see that. It's always all-out fights and maybe a surprise move. But look how tactical they are. I was like, oh, shit, did they leave them? And they came back, boom, got the people behind. Fennec was out here behind boxes just like, pew, 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 like killing. There was a spin kick move. I was just blown out to the point where I'm going to come up with a new shirt that says Bo Batch. Big Bad Bo Batch. Because that girl squad is now the Bo Batch. That is them. That is them. And in Book of Boba, they're going to come back. They're going to come back and it's going to be Bo Batch all again. And I'm a fanboy. I'm a fanboy.
When cons open back up, you're going to see all sorts of cosplayers and that whole cross braid thing that she's doing. That's going to be the new thing. I think you're going to see it all.
Yeah.
Lou, how did you feel about these?
I need to sing Ming-Na's praises because, like, my wife was like, she's like, when did Ming-Na be become such a badass? And I'm like, yo, Street Fighter.
Oh,
so we know the ladies.
And she was like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. She was in Street Fighter. Mulan. I mean, yo, she is badass.
No, she is.
Joy Luck Club. Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, yo, we're gonna because the ladies stored the show with this episode. Let's be real, they did.
Hands
but
down.
We cannot forget about two fight scenes that happened in this movie outside from the ladies that Mando had to deal with. Was first of all, he had to deal with fighting one-on-one with a dark trooper, and then second, he was fighting Moff Gideon. So how did we all feel about those two fight scenes?
Oh, man, it was that fucking Game of Thrones training.
Yes, she is.
Yes.
When he was with the staff and he did the thing where he kicked it with his tiptoe and it flipped around, I was like, oh, yes, he's fighting the mountain, but his head's not gonna get fucking crushed. He's gonna win. He's gonna win. He's not gonna brag and ask for bullshit from Charles Dance. He's gonna kick ass.
When Moff Gideon said, like, yo, you know what? Just take him and go. Was anyone really expecting him to be over right there?
No.
I expected it to be over. I thought it was
Gus Fring. It's Gus Fring.
I was a little like, this seems too easy. This seems way too easy.
Nah, man, it's Gus Fring with the dude in a headlock with the paper cutter. I was waiting for it.
I mean,
his face was being melted off. That's what. Yeah.
Yeah, don't worry. I want to bring up two things real quickly. So when obviously our boy is getting his face punched in, right? I was like, this man it's either gonna break his helmet or he's gonna have brain damage. But remember, Beskar Steel is so strong that it can withstand it. But on top of that, when he took off his helmet later on, it was pressurized. So it moves versus him bumping into the helmet. You know what I'm saying? So that was like a little thing I noticed.
Yeah.
And the second of all, when Moff Gideon turned around and started hitting him, I was like, this is it. He's going to die. This is it. Because, like, that's the dark saber. It doesn't cut through Beskar Steel.
Yeah.
I mean,
we got that real nice foreshadow in the
Yeah.
bar.
you know?
Yeah. I
And
have
like,
to say though that it does get. I think the darksaber is actually more powerful than a kyber crystal lightsaber. Because do you see that thing heat up? I mean, when Ahsoka was going against I forgot what the name of it. That the character who had the spear, and you know, it was just like sparks. But that darksaber, it was heating that thing up. It was like, if it was
I thought
concentrated,
it was gonna break. I thought he was gonna break it.
yeah.
Joe's gonna Google on that.
Thank you, Joe. Putting in the hard work.
your head. So like, it's busy magic.
I'm getting a fact check on my partner. What's up with that?
In the expanded universe, there's only two things that can defend against lightsabers: Beskar and Cortosis. So you know,
But
If we go to KOTOR, Knights of the Old Republic, vibroblades.
Lou, I gotta ask you, how did Little Man react when Mando was fighting the Dark Trooper?
Oh, well, it was funny. So while we're sitting here watching, getting his brains bashed in, right, and you know the pipes are busting behind him and all that, it was like a sigh of relief when you see them like go out in outer space when he popped open the door. We were all like, oh, all right, so we don't need to do this anymore, right? We're cool, we're clear. Like that was a sigh of relief. I think it was when it came down to seeing the darksaber near Baby Yoda, where we all were a little on edge. Like nobody was eating popcorn. Everybody was sitting there staring at the screen, just like, dude, what's about to happen? Don't touch Baby Yoda.
You know what I mean? Is where do they find those little tiny like Chinese torture device shackles?
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Like,
I mean, it's the Empire. You know they've got they like babies too.
Like that.
shackle him.
So I just want to point out real quick. I don't think Joe was talking about the weapons. I think he was talking about the helmet, as he says right here, talking about the helmet being pressurized.
When he
Pressurized
put
helmet.
the helmet, it made the sound, so it has to be pressurized.
No,
But
it is pressurized. I would say that is definitely the only way it would make sense that the helmet doesn't get crushed in mountain style.
right.
Mandalorians used to ride into battle in space with their armor.
Yeah. Yeah. Although I will say, when the Dark Trooper was punching him, it just kept reminding me of Age of Ultron, when the Hulkbuster's telling the Hulk to go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep.
Man, it's shades of everything. It's like Tone is like bringing like all these references, Game of Thrones, MCU. It's like Return of the Jedi. It's like I didn't even think about that. And like,
Do you not see the collection? Look at that. That is Game of Thrones, man, right there.
The mountain still gives Pedro Pascal a headache.
Well, let's
No, it gives him an eyesore. What are you talking about?
let's now dive into the moment, because like we know they take over and everything. Then we find out that the only way for Bo-Katan to have gotten the lightsaber, the dark saber, was that she had to defeat Moff Gideon, which again, that was all foreshadowing that we saw that Moff Gideon, you know, has to surrender to me. So that's some interesting stuff. So here's the thing. Here's the questions for you guys. What do you think is going to happen between Mando and Bo-Katan? And how did you guys feel about that X-Wing coming in?
Let's do the Bo-Katan thing. X-Wing is its own question segment. We got 20 minutes left. Let's take 20 minutes for Luke.
What was that?
Pissed me off with that, because you didn't get the Darksaber like in battle in the first place. That's not how you originally got it. I just think she just has a thing against Moff Gideon. I believe 100% in the Book of Boba, Moff is gonna come back. Bobat is gonna have to come, and then she's gonna get her revenge and all that other stuff. But then until then, she's gonna have a problem with Jin. And like when this was happening on the bridge, I was just like, "This is stupid. This is stupid. You have the saber. He doesn't want."
Joe is on your turn right there. There you go.
Yeah, she accepted from Sabine.
Yeah,
I believe.
There you go.
Accepted it, and then she lost it, so she's not worthy. She feels like she's not worthy of it because she lost it.
Yeah,
That's why she's like, "I can't do this again."
Wait, can we talk about the evil laugh
Yeah.
Moff
I
Gideon,
mean,
the evil laugh where he's like, it's not that easy.
Yes.
Yo, that was like Jafar from Aladdin.
I want Giancarlo Esposito in everything. I want him in everything. There's room for him being Dr. Doom, and I'm here for it. I need him in everything.
Jerel, you were gonna say.
last time he was a good guy.
I think Moff Gideon should have had an Eddie Murphy laugh. That would have been.
Jerel, you had something you want to point out.
In terms of that whole Bo-Katan and Mandalorian thing, I think we've pretty much established. I think it's going to be the next story arc. You know, I think the child Grogu is already like with Luke, and I think that's either going to be another spin-off or they'll do like a continuing adventures of Grogu. I don't know, but now the next arc in the Mandalorian is going to take that turn to Mandalore. I think that's where they're setting that up now. I think that you're going to see the drama, the not to get political intrigue type stuff like George Lucas kind of wants to get, but I think you're going to see like the return to Mandalore, and I think that's going to be interesting itself because we're going to see the Boba Fett. Well, actually, no. Boba Fett is going to be on Tatooine, so he's not going to be a part of that equation.
Boba Fett doesn't want to be Mandalore. That's the thing.
Yeah. He's going to be a crime lord.
It's going to be
do his own thing. Yeah, which is what we got.
I think it's going to be his own thing. But
the Stinger.
Yeah, exactly. I just think it's going to be a totally the next story arc is going to be something new, and it's going to be like new. I think now that they've kind of like I think you can't have a keep on like we got to rescue Grogu, we got Grogu back, we got to rescue Grogu. I think it's time to evolve Mandalorian because now it's never been only about the child, it's about the Mandalorian. So I think that's where, and it's going to be one of those things is he going to be like the next, the Conan the Barbarian? You're like, what's best in life? The riddle of Beskar steel. Like this is what we're gonna see. It's like we're gonna see if maybe he's gonna be that person that's gonna lead Mandalore. I don't know. I think it's interesting to see what's gonna happen.
I mean, I'm definitely getting Jon Snow vibes right there. So.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think it really depends on like how many other Mandalorians are they gonna meet because like they really were bogging down that these symbols mean power.
Mm-hmm.
And there's this symbol of this Darksaber, and clearly people are going to know that Bo-Katan lost the Darksaber, so she can't, she's got to figure it up, and she can't just live with it. And I think there's going to be this internal conflict between her and the Mandalorian because he doesn't want it, and like Alex said, this Jon Snow effect, the reluctant leader, and just seeing how that's going to go. And I think it's a really good turn for the Mandalorian because, Jerel, to your point, I was also saying before, this whole Grogu thing. Like, we can't keep doing this chase of Grogu. Like, eventually it's either going to stop or we're going to just do something else with it. So I think, a lot of speculation, a big grand opening of the world's about to happen.
Mayhem was raising his hand. Mayhem, what do you think?
So, like, I just want to take you way back when Walden Books was a thing. I used to work for Walden Books. Okay? Remember, there was Barnes & Nobles and his competitors.
B. Belton.
So, I read all my novels there because I'd get it for $3.99. I'm going to say it like that, or I'd be able to read it.
A 5-finger discount.
I'm not. I don't know what you mean. To confirm or deny. I can't confirm or deny. So what happens is I'm looking forward to everybody I'm looking forward to Grey Jedis being introduced. I'm looking for more Mandalorian lore. I'm looking forward to like what happened with Luke and Baby Grogu. That's on the back burner. You guys gotta understand, like. To kind of go back to Joe, as far as the worlds, fixing the worlds, I don't think it's going to be multiverse, although it's possible. You never know. But it's just like, if you think about it, the time in between traveling for space varies. A lot of things can happen in hyperspace. You know what I'm saying? When hyperspace from one planet to another. So if they can expand on it right, which they will, like, we're going to get seasons of different things that make the lore so much better. Like, I'm going to say I'm still a rookie when it comes to being a fan of Star Wars. So it's going to bring people like me in. People like who are like, I watched the first three, actually the second trilogy, but like I watched the first 3 episodes. I didn't know what was going on except the Jedi lightsaber battles. It was just like something, and Anakin turned evil. This girl was his cougar. I don't know what's going on. Like, you know what I'm saying? So like, get me invested in the lore. There's a reason why Star Trek is so popular. You know what I'm saying? There's a reason why Trekkies are like, yo, we are about this. If you don't know, come through. So Star Wars can have that same vibe now that they're going to expand upon. I know I brought up 2 different things. I apologize. You're not supposed to mention Star Wars and Star Trek in the same sense. Don't kill me just yet.
No. Those are different kinds of people. I'm here for all the science fiction. Like the one contention between Star Trek and Star Wars for me is that Star Trek dives in real science, and Star Wars is a space novel, space opera. That's it.
Star Wars space opera. It's Lord of the Rings in space.
Yep.
Star Trek is science fiction.
Yeah.
So let me bring it back now, because
sorry.
Yep, here's a big galactic sandwich. I totally agree, Joe. It is. So let's bring it back to this, because again, we do have the Luke Skywalker reveal, and I think also too we had a really special moment because it goes back to the point when we were saying how Din Djarin is taking off his mask, and this was a point where he also took off the helmet. And I mean, before I get into that question, I just want to say this was a moment that we've all seen happen in the original trilogy of Star Wars, is that it pulls to your heartstrings, it captures emotion. And just to go back to it, was that when he pulled off his mask, his helmet, I think it was at times when it really mattered to help progress the story. And this, for me, helped progress that story because you had this really heartfelt moment. How did you guys feel about, one, the Luke Skywalker reveal, and two, that whole scene that happened between him, and we're not gonna say Grogu, we're gonna say Baby Yoda. Let's go.
Go ahead, Alex.
Yeah, he's picking on you, Alex. He wants you to go.
Go ahead, Alex.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure Grogu and Luke are gonna have a lot of conversations. Like, so wait, what's your dad's name again? This is the second time. Yo, no, I mean, I'm gonna be jumping ahead here, but like, we probably know that Grogu has gone through 2 different Jedi temples being massicered.
Yep. Yeah, I was gonna say that too.
Yep.
Yeah.
He'll be like, I would say he would be like 75, maybe 70 when Kylo Ren just decides to burn the whole shit up.
So that raises a lot of questions. But
look at his face.
Yes,
dude. I don't think Grogu died. I think Grogu, like, something happened. Like, clearly something happened.
He's a survivor. I'll go give her.
Grogu's gonna meet Ben Solo and be like, you know what? I need to go to Dagobah for a minute.
I agree, Joe.
In some way, I half agree with that point, but I think it helped move the point with Bill Burr's character when he took it off, and what he would do for the child, no matter what.
Yeah.
It helped with that narrative.
In like the plot of that episode was for him to take the helmet off because there's no fucking reason that he needs to scan his face. That's a bullshit plot point. It does make sense that to show the lengths he would go through for the child. He's like. Because like the whole first season is like the creed is the most important because that's all I've known. But then he meets the child and he's like, no, I love this kid. I will do anything, including transcending that creed. And in this season, they're all like plotting that's like, oh, you know what? You've got this creed, but at the same time, you're kind of this religious wacko. Teeth. And then it's to show what's important to him, the creed or the child. So it actually made sense to have that Bill Burr episode where he takes off the helmet.
Bill Burr.
I keep on hearing all fucking people though, right?
Bill Bo, and it's like the Lord of the Rings.
Bill Burr, yeah, sorry, Bill Burr.
Bill Burr.
Go ahead.
The other piece that I want to put into this is that, like, the Mandalorian is really only in love with the child, and starting from the beginning is because he literally saved his life without knowing him, right? Yeah. So he didn't know any sort of kind way of being like, wait, people save your life and sacrifice their own energy for other people that they've never met and don't know. So like he has that Mandalorian code where it's just like, I'm in debt to you. You know, and there's a piece to that we have to also recognize that's where that love is coming from. It's not necessarily just, obviously, yes, it's the bonding and all that kind of stuff. Now I feel I have way bigger abilities that I can do on an everyday basis to keep us both safe, but you save my ass. So no matter what, you blindly save my ass. So, you know, we have to keep that in mind. It's
not just like, saved his ass, he gave him purpose.
Right. Yes. Yes, 100%. He's not chasing the dollar anymore. Now he's chasing, well-being and another spirit in the universe.
For all intents and purposes, Grogu is his son.
Yeah.
Hands down.
Yeah. 100%.
But, like,
I mean, he took him he was almost going to take him as a foundling, aside from after
That's
he
what I
was,
was saying.
told to bring him back to his people. But if he wasn't given that charge, he was going to be a foundling, and he was going to raise him.
If Luke came across a little shaded at him, he'd be like, "No, fuck you. I'm not giving you that kid."
Jerel, how did you feel when you saw that X-wing? When you saw this happening, when you saw the fighting?
Oh well, I think we touched upon that already. It's like we were all like totally like excited about what was the possibility. I think I want to touch, since we talked about that a little bit earlier, I wanted to say about what Luke said to Mando before he takes the child, and he says, "I would give my life to protect the child." And I was like thinking to myself, we talked about how the temple gets destroyed. So I was like, does that mean Grogu is dead, or does Grogu become a teenager and decides, you know what? I'm just going to be rebellious. I'm going to go off planet, and then Kylo destroys the whole temple, and then Grogu's still wandering around.
Grogu can become a Knight of Ren. We don't know.
There's the meme that I saw that I thought was really funny. It was one of those things where like Grogu was probably like the only cool kid in the academy that was cool to Kylo Ren, and then Kylo Ren was like, "Don't come to the academy tomorrow."
But to Joe's point, he goes, "I understand the importance of that part of the story. I'm saying that I wish I had for another way. Him taking off the helmet was as powerful as the last episode because it was just previous episode. Yeah, that I get. That I do get because it could have been spaced out.
I think doing it back to back took it away. If he did it like maybe in the middle or sometime like even in an event with like when it was with the other Mandalorians, I'm here. I totally get it. I do feel like back to back it was not as powerful as the evolution sort of. It was just kind of like he did it. Now it was in front of a bunch of fucking strangers, so I'm gonna take it off in front of the kid and then in lieu in front of everyone else.
How did you guys react to when they mentioned that it's a Jedi? How Moff Gideon, his face just changed and he looked like he just shitted himself.
I mean, so I didn't actually get a chance to say what I felt when I saw that X-wing. And I got fucking goosebumps, like goosebumps when the X-wing pulls in, and I'm like, who? I'm like, no, like everyone was saying, no, that's not it. And then you see the fighting, you see the lightsaber turns green. I'm like, oh shit, it's Luke. And you see the arm, oh shit, it's Luke. And then you see the handle of the lightsaber because his is really replica to more like what Obi-Wan had. You're like, oh yeah, that's really Luke.
Absolutely.
But then you see like the fucking fighting style of Luke Skywalker really just going in on these droids. He had his own version of the Rogue One Vader scene, and we got it with Luke Skywalker. And like when he came in, used the Force, brought the droid in, smashed it. I'm like, that's all I need. That's all I need. Like these sprinkle in moments of lightsabers is like what I needed in my life. Yeah. And like I want to see more. We want to see that Luke. Not I'm gonna take my father's lightsaber and toss it over my shoulder, Luke. I don't want that. I'm still salty about it. I'm still salty about it. But like this Luke I wanted. 5 years after watching his father come back to the light, sacrifice himself to save him. Yes. And now with the challenge of bringing back the Jedi together.
So I got two things. I got two things for you guys right now. So one is we know Joe hates the sequel trilogies. We know it does, bro. But Arlelis makes a good point.
I don't know which I hate more, the prequels or the sequels.
The prequels at least had a solid story from 1 to 3.
Exactly.
It's Darth Vader. It's the story of Darth Vader. The story of Darth Vader. That's it.
Arlelis had a question too. She's like, didn't Luke?
At least vision in the prequels. I don't agree with the vision, but there was a vision.
Agreed. Okay.
Burroughs asked, didn't Luke tell Rey that Kylo took some students with him? Yeah, I think that they became the Knights of Ren. That's who became, but I don't think Grogu was
I wish I knew what the Knights of Ren were, so maybe.
Yeah, that was the rumor but they never really answered that in the sequel trilogies.
To be fair, they did say all the Jedi died in the Purge, and at the same time, there's like 50 million stories of Jedi who survived the Purge. So
yeah. So that's something I want to say. So like, so whenever Jedi are in hiding, it's always Jedi are dead. They've been sprawn out. You know what I'm saying? It's only but so many few Jedis. But as Fallen Order has shown us, as any Star Wars novel has shown us, there's always more than just that handful. They just hide very well.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Like the Order was killed. The structure, the government, the leadership system, that was killed. And then you just had a bunch of like lone cells.
Change from their vows. So they might not be Jedi any longer.
Yeah.
What I want to talk
the
about...
The Katarans of the world.
when it comes to this season for me was all about myths and legends, especially the last 2 episodes. I think Bill Burr was in the last 2 episodes, so I'll say 3 if I'm wrong. So like with Bill Burr, going back to that character, you know what I'm saying? Like here it is. Yeah, we got the human side of the order and all that good stuff. Boom, that's great. But then it's just like things that the Mando wouldn't do that he did for the child. But then it's also happening against somebody who's like going to remember this, and that's going to be a myth or a legend down the line. Fast forward to this episode. You know, Darksaber, Beskar Steel. What? It can't cut through it? Myth and legend. Luke, come through. Luke seems to be still dealing with some darkness. I'm sorry. Myth and legend. It's all about myth and legends with this. And it's like expanding upon the lore. And that's what I got from this episode. I only watched it twice, okay? I only watched it twice. So, yeah.
Jiraj, you beat.
You know, you're so right, because I don't know which one of you guys mentioned it about Moff Gideon's expression when he saw that X-wing, because we got the hero of the New Republic who took down 2 Death Stars. You know, it's like he's coming in on an X-wing.
1, 2.
He's like going, oh my gosh, that if Luke is on that X-wing, I'm done. And that's the reason why he was about ready to do this. He was going to do this because he knew
it. Props to Lando because he was responsible for the 2nd Death Star being taken out.
Lando needs it. So we got through this episode, but then we get something good that we didn't expect. MCU style. So we get the intro to the Book of Boba. So we go into a familiar scene. Jabba the Hutt's old lair, but this time it's being ran by Bib Fortuna.
Nothing's changed.
Nothing's changed. It's just Bib Fortuna.
You got a Feely dancer. You got Gamorreans just walking around doing nothing, being shitty at their jobs, just like.
I would have been happy if they had the brain spiders in Jabba's palace at that point, but that's just me. But
and I love how like they brought in the Gamorreans in the first episode of this season, and then they bring them right back in this episode.
Okay, exactly.
Probably the same actors.
Probably.
But I mean, how did we feel as Star Wars fans getting this scene and then Boba taking his place on the throne, and then Finnick just like, you know what? I'm just gonna sit here with this bottle and just chill.
All right.
I like Boba, and I want to see him owned by Koska, but I'm more excited for Fennec. I believe the story is in Fennec. She's going to recruit Bobatch. She's got I believe everything is going to be Fennec. I'm more excited for Fennec. Boba Fett's going to get handed. That's all I care about. This was dope. The fact that a Mandalorian clone, whoever you want to call him, took over Jabba's throne or Biba Fortuna's throne, whatever. Come on, man. Come on. Come on, Tatooine. What's going on with Tatooine? Is Tatooine like Earth Prime? You know what I'm saying? Like,
just a bunch of Nerf herders just hanging out.
Right.
And Womp Rats.
Womp Rat's ass.
As a big Star Wars fan. Come on, you gotta know.
I'm kind of confused about the timeline, so maybe you guys can kind of straighten things up. Is Darth Maul dead already now? Did he do the Rebels thing where Obi-Wan dispatches him, or is he still alive?
This is post-Real because Rebels is happening.
Is it post-Rebels or is it pre-Rebels?
Post-Rebels.
I think it's most of Rebels happened before this, but the last episode happens after this. But that's like a weird.
Is Darth Maul alive or dead? What
probably
probably not. We don't know because I remember the last time we kind of saw Darth Maul 2 was in the Han Solo movie.
No, but he came back in Rebels and he fought a gray-haired Obi-Wan.
Yeah. So
one thing we know is Ahsoka looking for Thrawn, and Thrawn has something to do with Ezra, and I forget where Darth Maul fits into that place.
So he's dead.
This might be he's dead. He's dead then. Because
this is the interesting thing that I was going to pose is because now that Boba is here, it's like the crime syndicate that's that the Hutts and I forgot what the name of Darth Maul's. Is it the Red Sun? I forgot what the name of the.
I know. Yeah.
Black Sun, right?
Yeah, Black Sun. Well, anyway, whatever it is, there's a vacuum now. So like pretty much Boba can own the whole thing. And so I think the whole book of Boba is going to be like him imposing his will on the syndicate, you know, the whole crime syndicate. You know, he can own the whole outer rim. So I think that's going to be like the, you know, his story now that they can tell, because there is no Darth Maul. You know, he's been dispatched by Obi-Wan now, and it's in that area where you can just tell all sorts of stories. And like to Mayhem's, you know, his point, Fennec. There's going to be so much. I want my own Fennec action figure. I want all those figures. I want my.
So she's gonna have her own show.
Exactly. Everybody. You saw the memes.
Two shows. One
he gets his own show. Random Imperial officer in the corner. He gets his own show.
Do get a show.
The guy in the pants gets his own show in the corner.
Yeah. Am I the only one who wants Jar Jar Binks, like Rise of the Empire thing?
Yeah.
Okay. We're gonna go with Lou now. We're gonna go with Lou now. Lou, what was your whole reaction with the whole end credit scene that was going on right there with Boba and Fennec?
Well, first of all, I cut it off early, so you know my kid has to go to sleep, and thank God. So Seabass was like, "Yo, dude, did you catch the end?" I was just like, "They did a Marvel." I did not catch that, and you know what? Well, I guess we're watching it again. We're watching it a second time. I just watched the ending of that, and I was just like, "Oh snap! He's in the whole Jabba the Hutt area," and you know, I am seriously a rookie when it comes to Star Wars. So like, but I did recognize where they were, and you know, the fact that he was talking the language that he was talking, and they had the grading where you know, people have been dropped in that grading multiple times, right? Yeah, man, I was excited for it, you know, and you saw Fennec drinking the blue milk. I was just like, oh, it's on.
Oh, that wasn't blue milk. That was blue
milk.
whiskey.
That's what it's called. On this show, we call it the blue milk. Wine is no longer good. It's blue milk.
That looks like a mixture of Hypnotic and Hennessy. That's
Incredible. It's not the Incredible Hulk. It's green. I know that drink.
But I want to give a shout out to Matthew Wood, who played Bib Fortuna. And if you look at his credits, he has a long list of credits of working on sound and voice acting for Star Wars. He even voiced Bib Fortuna in episode 1 of The Phantom Menace. And that was him who we had playing that part right there. And he's even voiced General Grievous for the animated series.
Wow. I bow down to your nerd cred. That is awesome. I didn't know that.
Right.
So we're at.
I feel
Google like it's strong with this one.
Props to Ahmed Best, because he went through so much fucking shit because of Jar Jar Binks.
Who?
The voice actor for Jar Jar Binks.
Oh yeah, I know. He went through a lot of shit. I mean,
he's a fucking awesome dude. Just props to him.
Yes.
Yeah, no.
So we are at that time, guys, because we were loving this episode. We are at that time. So we're gonna go in. We want to you guys to plug yourselves away. We're gonna start with the one, the only LuCyph. Plug away, brother.
Yo, please go stream that album. The Agenda, you know, it's grown folk hip hop. You know. Yeah, grown folk hip hop, because hey, hip hop's aging and we got to get with it, you know. We pay mortgages out here. We got
gotta talk about buying houses, paying for school uniforms, paying for diapers and Similac. You know, you gotta.
I literally have somebody sitting upstairs working on my bathroom right now as we speak. So I'm not playing no games, but nonetheless, the Agenda. You can catch me on Twitter, Instagram at right there, LuCyph NY. And yeah, please, I'd love to even hear some feedback on the music. I love it, and you know, it only makes us better. Steel sharpens steel. So please,
guys, listen to the album. It is a dope album, dropped in 2020, and also listen to all his other stuff too. Lou has some fresh stuff. Jerel, you up next?
I want to give props to LuCyph, because I'm still waiting for my Bantha toothpick line in your next that. So I'm waiting for that, and you put me in the unofficial creds of like I got this verse from Jerel from Comics Cast. That's all you gotta say, okay? All right, Bam the toothpick. Anyway, Jerel from Comics Cast. Thank you, Sebastian, for having me here. Comics Cast is all about promoting the indie creator, and one of those guys up there in the corner, Alex, is an indie creator. We put indie creators first. We want to give them a platform to talk about their work, showcase who they are, what they are, put eyes on them. And that's what Comics Cast is about. You can check us out on Comics Cast on Facebook. You can go to Indie, INDIE, Comics Cast with an S. Make sure it's Comics Cast on YouTube. We want to grow our YouTube so that way we can get as many eyes on indie creators, because that's what we're going to do. That's what we did this year in 2020, 2021. We're going to take it to the next level. And as Sebastian said, take over the world. So, all right.
Guys, subscribe to them, Comics Cast, check it out. Again, and also, too, if you really want to see how badass Jerel is with the pen and paper and the pencil, please check them out on Comics Cast, especially on his show that airs every Sunday on Comics Cast. Mike, you are up next.
There's so many plugs. I think the best way is to follow me at Pure Mayhem, because especially starting tomorrow, I'll have all the things. I'm on Last Stop on the L podcast, Hyro Geekix podcast. I run Geeks Unlimited, the YouTube channel, which we're going to put up some more stuff. If you want to follow me on gaming, it's Q Mayhem Gaming. I'm also on This Week in Pop Culture, which is dope. And of course, Sebastian and Tone from across the hall have me on this show every now and again when I'm making fun of Tone's beard and mustache. It's all love. It's all love. It's all love.
Because you don't believe it's real, because I haven't seen you since we went
to
Staten Island.
I don't know who your mustache lady is, but you need to tip her. This cast is always great. You can always find me here if anything. It's always pleasure. It's all love. And I'm going to download your album, Lou. Expect fire. Expect fire. I want to meet you.
Please. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Guys, subscribe to Mayhem. I'm telling you. Yo, check it out. Check out the podcast. Check out what Mike is doing. Also, too, a little bit of trivia right here. Nerds Around had originally started on Geeks Unlimited. Yes. We were all together. We were a little launching team, and Mike has grown that channel. Mayhem Mike has grown it, and just really, really checked him out, what he is doing and what he's laying out there, especially on what you're doing on This Week in Pop Culture. You and Hash, give him a big shout out.
Shout out to Evil Comics. Yes, definitely.
Wait, Hash is on that?
Yes, he is.
Yeah, it's a bad show now. Alex, you are up next, Alex. We love it. Alex, you're up next. Give those plugs away. We want to thank you for coming in.
Yeah, you can find me right here. ASAP can draw. I'm 1/3 of Wayward Raven Media. You can find us at waywardraven.com. I draw damnheroes.com. And as Jerel was saying, Mark and I, my partner in crime, were on his show, and Jerel kicked my ass in the art challenges. I will say that right now. He makes me look like an amateur. So
not like that at all. Not like that at all.
I got to talk up everyone who's better than me, man. I just wanted to say, man, I was really impressed with that show. This was really cool, and you guys need to check out Comics Cast and check out everyone else in this group too. Some fucking huge winners here, awesome people. Definitely, yeah. We're all in this together, so support each other.
Yep. Yes, Alex. Good.
And before we go, we just want to say, guys, if you love D&D, check out the D&D podcast by Embion called the Madusa's Cascade. Check it out. Episode 8 has just came out. So definitely check it out. Tommy, who has been putting the song, has been putting some great work into that. And again, it's Embion podcast, Madusa's Cascade. Nerds Around will be back next Tuesday with another live episode. Tone, what will we be covering?
We will be talking about the worldwide sensation that is coming on to HBO Max on December 25th at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Wonder Woman 1984. We are excited to do our live episode next Tuesday talking about Wonder Woman and the amazingness that is Patty Jenkins and Gal Gadot.
Wait, isn't Patty Jenkins doing another Star Wars thing?
Yes, she is. She is doing Rogue Squadron, and I cannot wait to see space fucking dogfights with Patty Jenkins at the helm. I can't wait. It's going to be amazing.
Gentlemen, I thank you for your time. I gotta head out.
Go take care, Luke. Go take care. Love you, brother.
Lou.
All right, bro.
Last thing.
Nerd out later.
Last thing on the list, check out Nerds Around's YouTube channel. Make sure you guys subscribe. January 8th, our next episode, creative series, will be coming out. It's going to feature Amy Davis, cosplayer, voice actress, and Twitch streamer. She knows as Amy's Taco. So definitely check it out, which will drop on January 8th. This has been another awesome episode of Nerds Around. We want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas. We want to wish you guys enjoy the food. Happy holidays. Happy everything. Again, nerds out. Peace out. Peace.
Stay safe,
everybody.